What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tank B Choppin, and I'm back with another haircut tutorial. So what we're gonna do on this cut is we're doing a number 4 on top. We're gonna taper the sides, and then we're gonna line up his beard, but we're gonna keep it as natural as possible. So I'm gonna start off by taking my comb and just combing the hair down the way it lays. That way we can see what the hair is actually doing before we start cutting it. So now I got my number 4 guard on my ergos. And as you can see, I'm coming against the grain, just taking all that hair off to that desired length. And I'm using that comb to comb away all the excess hair and to comb the hair down so I can see how the hair is actually laying at this length. And y'all know me, guys, when I go over the top on straight hair, what I do is I like to go against the grain and then I'm gonna go across the grain. And I'm just gonna do this as needed, basically to get all this hair down and make sure he doesn't have any extra little hair sticking up. Alright, so now that that is done, I got my number 3 guard on my clipper. I got my lever all the way open, which is making this a 3.5. And as y'all can see, I'm coming right up to about that parietal ridge and I'm flicking out. And I'm just doing this that way the sides fade into the top. 9 times out of 10, guys, I say this all the time. On my tapers, I like to go a little shorter on the sides just because a lot of people's hair tends to stick out more on the sides. And so I just go a little shorter on the sides. That way the haircut actually looks all even though in actuality the sides are a little shorter. I just feel going down on the sides a little shorter just helps make the haircut look better. Alright, so now that that is done, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set in my initial bald guideline. So as you can see, I got my trimmers in my hand, and I was going to come in with the clippers coming up, with the trimmers I mean, but I decided to put it in like an edge up, meaning I have my trimmers turned away the opposite way and I'm punching that line in. And the reason why I decided to do this, guys, is his C-cup isn't too dominant, so I wanted to make sure I gave him a high taper, but I wanted to make sure I had that guideline nice and crisp, so that's why I did it that way. And as you can see right now, I'm lining up the back of his neck area where the back taper would be, just because I got the trimmers in my hand already, and this just helps speed up the process for me. Once again, guys, I'm doing this only because I have the trimmers already in my hand. So as you can see, I'm lining up the back of the beard, and I'm just tapping the top of his beard just to make sure we give it some type of shape. And you don't have to do this right now. Like I said, guys, I just like to do it this way because it makes things quicker for me, and I feel it makes my haircuts just, I mean, really, it's just because it's a little quicker for me, guys. So now I'm taking the side down to that shaver level, basically balding them out. Now I got my clipper with the lever all the way open, and I'm coming up about 3/4 of an inch, setting in another guideline. However, I am gonna fade this section down. So like I said, guys, I'm starting with my lever open, and then I'm just gonna adjust my lever closed and adjust it as needed to get out the bottom of that line, or to get out the line at the bottom of that section. So I started with the lever open, closed it halfway, closed it down 1 notch, and then closed it all the way to attack that bottom line. And if this doesn't get the line completely out, that's fine. We can always come back with the trimmer if needed. So here is my number 1 guard, and I'm coming up another section. I do have my lever all the way open, which makes this a 1.5. And I'm coming up and flicking out, and as you can see, it's creating another section, right? And that's fine because we want to use these guidelines to help just guide this taper to see what's going on. So I'm coming up with the lever open, and then I close my clipper all the way, and I'm just attacking that bottom line. Now here's my 1/16 guard. My lever is halfway open, and I'm just attacking them dark spots that I see, basically towards the bottom of that guideline, because I know that one close isn't going to completely take out that line at the bottom. Now I got my 1.5 guard, lever is open, coming up another section, doing the same exact thing, using a slight flick out motion, still following that guideline that I placed in previously, that same shape. And I started with the lever open, and then I adjusted my lever closed to try to get out that line at the bottom of this section. And if that doesn't work, if there's still a faint line there, that's fine. I can always come back later and detail it if needed. So now I have my 3 guard on my clipper. The lever is closed, and I'm just attacking the top of that taper and behind the ear, making sure it all blends into the rest of this haircut. And now I'm coming in with my 2 guard. My lever is open. And I'm just gonna attack that line, guys. Start off with my lever open and adjust that lever closed as needed. And this should, for the most part, bring this taper all together. And if it doesn't, I'll just come in with some detail work after this and clean up this haircut. Or I'm sorry, clean up this taper. So since I didn't completely get out these lines, I'm going back with some detail work. This is my 1.5 guard, and I'm just detailing it, adjusting that lever as needed to get out these dark areas and get out most of these lines. That way this taper looks nice and finished. When it comes to detailing, guys, you can detail as much as you feel is needed to make your haircut come together and make that blend pop. I just think the more you cut hair and the more you develop that barber's eye, the more you know how much you need to detail. And sometimes some people don't even need to detail that much, like their haircuts come together really well just following the initial steps. But some clients need more detail work than others, and you just learn that just the more you keep cutting hair. So now we're lining up the top of his, we're lining up the front of his hairline. So I got my trimmers in my hand, and I made an initial guideline in the middle of his head. And as you can see, I'm just moving my way over to the right side or to the left side of his head, just to basically see how this side of the haircut looks and see if I need to move on or if I need to detail some more. So most of the time after you put that line up in there, guys, you can see what needs to be tapped and what needs to be detailed some more to make sure that blend comes together. Now I'm just fading in the beard using the same techniques that I used on the taper. I'm taking down his mustache to 1.5. Just because you don't want that mustache too long, even if you don't trim it down and you line it up, it's still going to be poking out too much, especially the way his hair is. So I decided to trim it down with a 1.5 and line it up. So y'all know how we do, guys. Whatever we did to one side of the head, we got to do to this side. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm starting off with creating his lineup behind his ear. And now I'm creating that bald guideline and balding that part of the taper out. So I'm starting off this side of the taper. I'm going to use the same exact steps. I'm going in with my clipper open, and I'm adjusting that lever closed as needed to get rid of that bottom line. Putting my number 1 guard on there, lever open, coming up another section, and I'm fading down to get rid of that bottom line. And I'm just going to do that all the way, guys. Y'all already seen me do it on the other side of the haircut, so I don't really think I need to explain it too much on this side. But yeah, that's basically what I'm doing here, guys. So if y'all liking these beats that y'all hear right now, guys, y'all make sure to give my boy Tito Beats a follow. He's the one behind all the beats on all my videos. He provided the beat for the intro. I mean, he just got some dope beats, man. I really rock with him, so y'all make sure to give him a follow on Instagram. And y'all can search him up on YouTube. I think it's Tito Beats Productions. Y'all make sure to subscribe to his channel. So y'all may or may not know, guys, but I am doing a giveaway once I reach 2,000 subscribers. Right now I'm at about 1,900, so I need about 100 more, and we'll be doing a giveaway. And I think I'm gonna be giving away some clippers and trimmers. So y'all make sure to share this video, guys. Make sure to smash that like button and also comment down below. That really helps with the algorithm, and it just helps more people stumble across my channel. So also, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I greatly appreciate it, guys. And like I said, I will be doing that giveaway, so I'm trying to give back also, so you ain't just subscribing for nothing. And I'm not saying y'all doing it because y'all want the free stuff, but I feel personally that I'm giving away some good knowledge, some good gems, so y'all can take that away. And the fact that I'm actually giving away some good tools, you know, I think that's just a plus. Alright, so let's move on back to this haircut. As you can see, I'm starting off on this side of the lineup. I'm just starting off in the middle where I previously placed that guideline, and I'm just using that and and I'm moving over ever so slightly, just tapping that hairline and placing that vertical bar in there, making sure it's nice and crisp. And as you can see here, I'm just lining up the inside of the goatee area. And as far as the beard, remember guys, we're going for a natural look, so I didn't go too far down on the beard. I just kept it nice and natural. So the back of the taper, guys, is no different from the sides. The only difference is you have like a wider amount of space to work with, but it's gonna be the same step. So as you can see here, I'm setting in my bald guideline with my trimmer. I'm coming in, taking all that hair off, and I'm gonna follow that with my shaver. And then I'm gonna start blending. I'm starting with my clipper open, and I'm coming up about 3/4 of an inch, basically just coming up another section. And I'm gonna adjust that lever closed and try to get out that bottom line in that section. And if this doesn't get that line out, remember guys, I can always go back with my trimmer if needed. My next step is I'm taking my number 1 guard, lever open, and I'm coming up another section. And then I'm gonna do the same exact thing, adjust my lever closed and try to get rid of the bottom line in this section. And I did want to add, guys, I forgot to say it earlier, but if you ain't following me on Instagram, please do so. Just go over to Instagram, search me up, tank_B_choppin, and follow your boy one time. All right, so as y'all can see here, I got my number 1.5 guard on my clipper. Lever is open, coming up another section, fading that down. And now I'm starting with my 3 guard, and then I'm just cleaning up the top of that area. And now here's my number 2 guard, doing the same thing, adjusting that lever as needed to get rid of that line. Sometimes the back of the tapers can be a little more difficult just because, as you can see there, he has that indention right below the occipital bone. Sometimes, you know, that it's hard to fade around, and sometimes it's easier. But you just gotta really just adjust them clippers as needed. You gotta hit it, you know, with the different levels of the guard, you know, open and close that lever, use some corner blending. Sometimes you're gonna have to use a smaller guard than what you did on the sides of the taper, if that makes sense. You basically just want to get this to look as faded as possible, and sometimes you have to do different things to get that to achieve that look. However, for the most part, we are still following the same guidelines and the same steps. One thing I have been talking about doing that I still haven't did that I need to do is I need to create, you know, that little guide in the corner so y'all can see what guide, what number guards that I'm actually going over, you know, the hair with, so y'all can actually I could just match the guard with that size, if that makes sense. You know, like a little key in the corner saying the green guard is the 1 guard, the red guard is the 1.5. You know, do something like that for y'all, and I think that'll help y'all out a lot also. So here I am just cleaning up that lineup. And this is why I know a lot of people don't like to do the lineups first, because sometimes you got to go back over and clean it up some more. But that's totally fine for me. Like I said, it just works easier for me. So as y'all can see here, guys, I'm just doing some razor work. I'm just hitting that razor everywhere that I went over with my trimmer. Every line that I made, I'm going over it with the razor to get that line sharper and to get it down a little shorter. So now I'm adding some enhancements, and I'm just adding a little bit. I don't want to add too much. I don't want to make this haircut look fake. So yeah, I'm just tapping this hairline with these enhancements, just trying to make these lines pop. We are going to add a little bit of enhancements in the beard, but we're not going to add too much because, like I said, we are keeping it nice and natural, and I don't want that to look fake if I add too much paint. Alright guys, so this is how he looked when he walked into the barbershop. This is the before look. Get a nice look at that. and this is the finished product. This is the after look, guys. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut down in the comments. Let me know if you think I did this man right. Let me know if y'all don't like it. If you do like it, make sure to smash that like button. Also, subscribe one time for your boy. Y'all know what it is. I got some more heat coming, guys. Y'all just stay tuned, and I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy. Let's go.